Hey guys, welcome to my first episode. My name is Emad, and I have my good buddy David with me. Welcome to Mystery Tube. Today we're going to be talking about next gen consoles, everything from the hardware to games, pricing, and release date, and then maybe go from there. But I'm really excited for next gen. David, I want to we'll kick it off with you. See where you'd like to start from. Like, if you want to start talking about the specs, or how do you want to start this off?
Yeah, like everything, we should probably talk with the meat and potatoes. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk specs. We everyone knows that both Xbox and PlayStation are using AMD for their architecture, so they're very similar. Both are using AMD Zen 2 cores, uh, and they're using very similar GPUs. I believe that the Xbox is clocked faster though,
Hmm.
or is more powerful on paper, but the PS5 presentation that they had a few days ago, just it really kind of opened my eyes because they were talking about how they're focusing more on IOPS or input output to reduce bottleneck, and that I think might be able to help tilt the tables towards the Sony end. What do you think, Ahmed?
Yes, as far as specs goes, I think they're going to be really similar, and I think they're throwing around teraflops around. They like to throw that number. Oops, let me pull up the specs. Do they have the specs and the? So we're looking at the Engadget article that shows the differences between the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. Oh, I'm not sure if they mentioned it here, but they threw a number like 10 teraflops. Dude, what is a teraflop
Uh,
exactly?
Teraflop is 1 trillion floating point units. Do you remember back in the PlayStation era, where everyone was really focused on polygon count?
Mm-hmm.
Well, polygons are usually made up of are calculated through floating points as a point in space, and and three of them will create a triangle, and that is essentially a polygon. With three, back in the day when we would calculate horsepower, it was how many polygons you could push per second, and
Mm.
now it's gotten to so many polygons that we decided to use floating point operations as opposed to actual polygons up there. So 10 teraflops is 10 trillion points,
Wow.
which could equate to about wow, about quite a lot of polygons per second. Let's
Hmm.
say.
Okay. So I just looked it up. It's showing as like 10 point something teraflops for the PS5. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to see what the PS4 was, just so we can get a difference.
That was either 4
Uh,
teraflops.
yeah, you're right. So actually, the original PS4 console has 1.84 teraflops. Wow. And the PS4 bumps it up to 4.2. So the new PlayStation, it's essentially going to be
Okay,
twice
what
as fast.
what did 1.2 teraflops?
Oh, 1.84. That's the original PS4 console.
Okay,
The base PS4 console, 1.84 teraflops, and the PS4 Pro, it's 4.2, and then the PS5, it's gonna be like 10.2 or 10 point something. So
okay.
that's a big jump. I think it's gonna make a really big difference, with the new games and stuff. And as far as the specs goes, what else? So for the PS5, it's gonna have 16 gigabyte RAM, and Memory bandwidth 448 gigabits per second. For the internal storage, I don't know why they're doing this or if this is true. 825
Right.
gigabytes
Yep.
solid state, but the Xbox is going to have 1 terabyte.
Yeah.
I wonder why they did that.
If you watch the spec video, Mark Cerny pointed out that it really had to deal with the kind of speed they were looking for compared to basically performance to dollar to size ratio.
Mm.
So it's really uh, for from what I understand, it sounds like they're trying to hit a sweet point.
Mm.
But the with that storage, it is expandable. They did mention that you can expand it just like the PS4 and the PS3 before. So, but you need not that you need, but you should have. They should have a preferred list of manufacturers or
Mm-hmm.
brand of SSDs because with the performance that Sony's trying to hit, they they need to make sure not they need to make sure, but they want you to make sure that you have a drive that hits their performance quotas, or
Mm.
else you might see it might either I don't know if it'll just not work or if you'll just see laggy performance. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's yeah. Again, that
So,
video was very eye revealing. So
but it's not that big of a deal, I guess. Like, especially if you can increase the internal storage, like that's not that big of a deal.
yeah,
I think what it's really going to boil down to then. So, since the hardware is so similar, it's going to boil down to the games. You know, what are they bringing to the table?
uh,
And currently, I feel like PlayStation has been pumping out better exclusives. So I'm hoping that that Microsoft will be able to keep up with them. You know, like just as an example, some exclusives like Final Fantasy VII Remake. You know, I've been talking about that I talked to you about that before.
yeah.
Oh, The Last of Us 2, another exclusive. Let me see.
Actually, I don't know if Final Fantasy VII is exclusive. It might
I
be a
think
time.
no, I think you're right. I think it's a timed exclusive for at least a year, and then I think it's going to be on PC. But will it be on the Xbox as well, or just PC? I wasn't sure about that.
The Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain it's going to be a timed exclusive,
Mm.
but I, I haven't really been following that mainly because I want to play it. So the less I
Yeah.
know about it when I come in, the better.
No, I hear you, man. I've been dying to play the demo, but I haven't had the opportunity because, like I told you before, I gave my PS4 to my nephew. So if I had it, I would have definitely checked out the demo. But at the same time, maybe it's good that I didn't play it, so it doesn't, so I don't ruin it for myself. You know, like I don't know. What do you think about that?
Did you ever play the original Final Fantasy VII demo that came with Tobal Number One?
I don't think so. I mean, I played for sure. I played the game a couple times, but I don't remember playing the demo.
Yeah. Before Final Fantasy VII came out, they came out with
Hmm.
a demo that came packed in with their Akira Toriyama fighting game called Tobal Number One,
Hmm.
and it was pretty much everyone that bought Tobal Number One bought it for the Final Fantasy VII demo.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. It was pretty cool. It was the entire first sequence when you in the reactor where
Hmm.
you try and infiltrate the reactor base and then you fight that big mechanical boss
Hmm.
like all it was and just it was mind blowing.
I remember, dude. Yeah, the graphics were amazing at the time. I'm like, oh my god, look at these 3D graphics. They blew my mind. You know. Speaking of that, like I know that from the videos I've seen, it looks really good. The Final Fantasy VII remake. Do you think it's going to even look like that much better on the PS5? Like, I wonder how much if they're going to pump it up at all, or if it's just going to look the same. Like, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Uh, Definitely, it'll run better at a better resolution.
Mm,
But at this point, we've hit that point of diminishing. Well, we've long passed the point of diminishing returns, where it's just, yeah, things are just gonna look slightly better now.
mm.
You're not gonna, you're probably not gonna have a quantum leap in gaming for quite a bit, unless newer, not really newer technology, but like until more until something paradigm shifting really change comes in.
Mm.
Uh, I'm not certain how much you're familiar with ray tracing.
I heard of it. Yes. Yeah, I'm kind of slowly getting into it. That deals with like lighting and like real time lighting and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's it makes lights. It has light sources that shoot out that shoot out a bunch of like it would be light waves, but like just a lot of math that just calculates how light should look. But outside of that, it does a lot of uh, it'd be referred to as like uh, I don't know, specular runoff. I guess like it calculates a lot of how light should work. And what I was really excited about with the PS5 is when Mark Cerny was talking about how they can use ray tracing for sound
Hmm.
to help you get a more atmospheric 3D sound coming in.
In- Interesting. I thought it was only for lightning for lighting, so they can use
Yeah,
it for sound as well.
yeah,
Wow,
I
that's pretty
didn't
cool.
know that too. So like just yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. And just yeah, I mean, there's just gonna be a lot of we're gonna need a lot of for the next level of wow or the next wow factor. It's gonna come down to or it's gonna come back to a it's gonna be something that comes out of complete left field that just changes the way you look at a game. So
Hmm.
like that's really what I think is gonna usher in the next ooh gotta have it type of
Hmm.
feel.
Do you think that Halo is going to be enough for Microsoft, or do they have something else up their
No,
sleeve?
Halo is not enough to sell a system, and Microsoft knows it, which is why
Hmm.
they've been buying up studios left and right in the past few years. Namely Ninja Theory.
Hmm.
Uh, so I'm really interested to see what they're coming up with, and hopefully, it seems like Rare might be coming back as an ace developer. So
They're the team behind like Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive, right? Is that the same
uh,
developer?
Rare, no
No, not Rare. Who's the
Ninja
other?
Theory.
Yes.
No, you're thinking Team Ninja from
Yeah.
Tecmo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Wrong ninja.
No, Ninja Theory. They did. What was it?
Let me pull it
The
up.
first game I can think of like isn't coming to mind, but they did Enslaved, Odyssey to the West. They did Heavenly
Okay.
Sword for PlayStation 3. They did
Hellblade.
Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, and the Devil May Cry reboot,
Hmm.
DMC.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So they're really good at those type of games.
Nice. Cool, man. Um, so we talked a little bit about the uh, the hardware, a little bit about the software.
Yeah, a
What
little
about?
bit. In regards to the hardware, I want to go back to it. Like, just
Yeah, man.
yeah, if we're gonna do side by side comparison, uh, yeah, yeah, things are a little different on the Xbox side because it seems like it should be more powerful on paper because the Xbox has their CPU running at 3.8 gigahertz as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to 5 with the PS5, and the teraflop count on the Xbox One X or Xbox Series X
Mm-hmm.
is going to be 12 teraflops. So
Oh wow.
yeah, yeah. But the thing is, the CUDA, the compute units on the GPUs is drastically different. Well, I guess not that maybe drastically, but for the PS5, it's 36 cores at 2.23 gigahertz,
Mm-hmm.
and for the Xbox, it's going to be 52 cores at 1.825 gigahertz.
Mm.
So the question begs, you know, less cores but running faster,
Mm-hmm.
or more cores that run a little bit slower. Which ones?
Mm.
You know, what are you gonna have? And the RAM has a little bit different differences. I'm not quite certain about the Xbox. I mean, they're both going to be 16 gigs RAM, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, from the Sony video, they mentioned that uh, the fill rate that they can fill up from taking information from the SSD to the RAM, they can fill it up within about 2 seconds.
Hmm.
So, because normally, do you remember how in with the old Xbox 360 or yeah, I guess it'd probably just be the Xbox 360,
Mm-hmm.
and some games where when it would take a long time for textures to fill, namely like Borderlands, anything with the
Mm-hmm.
Unreal Engine, uh,
Yeah.
anything with the Unreal Engine, because I remember Gears of War was terrible with
Mm.
that. Where you'd have to wait for the textures to load. Things would look like
Yeah.
really,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for a second. Like that's what Sony is trying to combat
Mm-hmm.
or combat.
Yeah.
Uh, is like, like, why do you need all this horsepower if you can't if there are going to be these bottlenecks, namely, the speed at which the hard drive writes to RAM, and so that's kind of the reason why they're gunning for having uh, such such a fast SSD. So I don't know if Xbox is gonna be able to compete, gonna be able to compare, because if you look in that Engadget article, PlayStation 5 versus Xbox Series X, and in the video they mention the I/O throughput, which is input output rate. For the PS5, it's going to be about 5.5 gigabytes per second, uh, whereas the Xbox is going to be at 2.4. So it can get information to the RAM twice as fast, even though it doesn't have as much horsepower. So
Mm.
kind of begs the question, like, where is the trade-offs going to be? But I'm really excited to see this because this kind of harkens back to the old 32-bit generation
Mm.
uh, where Sega had their Sega Saturn had such a massive, like, their Sega Saturn was so much more powerful than the original PlayStation because it had three processors in it, whereas the
Wow.
PlayStation only had one processor. But the thing is, nobody knew how to program for it. No one knew how to program for
Mm.
three different processors at the time.
Mm.
So a lot of the horsepower kind of went unused on it.
Mm.
So this kind of seems like the same story where the PS5, it's trying to make things a lot easier to develop for, uh, but the Xbox seems to have a lot more raw horsepower.
Mm. That's a really good point, man. Like, yeah, it's good to have a lot of horsepower, but if developers can't utilize it, then it's kind of going to go to waste. Like the Dreamcast, like what you were talking about earlier. So, yeah, we want the graphics to be nice, but we also want good games as well. So, I can see what you're talking about. Like there needs to be a good balance. So you're thinking that PlayStation has the edge on that, maybe because they're
I
making it like more friendly for developers, or
know because Microsoft, unlike Sony, or unlike Sega, um, Microsoft is a software company. For, first and foremost, they don't they haven't really done they didn't really do hardware up until more recently, and so I mean they might have more tricks up their sleeve, and you know programming has gotten a lot more sophisticated than it was in the 90s. So,
mm,
so the limitation we had back then quite aren't the same as now. So
mm,
it's never an apples to apples comparison, but it is interesting to think about.
for sure. I'd be interested in seeing like when both consoles actually come out. What's the name of the Digital Foundry? That's the name I was thinking about. Like I can't wait to watch the video to compare like the same game for both Xbox, the new Xbox and PS5 to see the differences between them, like how they look, how quickly they boot up, and things like that.
Yeah, as far as software is concerned, yeah, I really want to see what comes out next generation because
Hmm.
tell you the truth, I have no idea what next gen games are out there. I think I saw something for the PS5 was it during the Super Bowl,
Mm.
uh, or that wasn't Super Bowl, was it? It was no, it was the video game awards.
Mm.
It was I forgot what it was like. Not it wasn't God Hand. It was something. I don't know. It was like a bunch of people in armor flying around. It did not look did not grab me as a must have.
You brought up another good point. It's like, yeah, it's cool to look at all the numbers, but I wish that they would have showed more like game demos. Like I don't know if that would help or not. Like let's see your unit in action. I don't know if they're saving it for something or if they were saving it for E3, but thanks to the coronavirus, that E3 got canceled, right? I don't know if
Yeah,
you heard about that.
but E3's been dying a slow death for years now.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it wasn't because what was it? Sony bowed out last year, and even before the coronavirus thing hit here, they expressed interest. They expressed that they probably weren't going to be in. They wouldn't have an E3 conference.
Mm.
They would probably do like a live stream, like they did last year. Yeah, they're not going to have a big presence at E3 themselves.
Mm.
So
Speaking of the coronavirus, we might get a little sidetracked here, but how are you doing over there? How's the situation? Like, I know that
uh,
you're kind of in a hot spot. So,
yeah,
like how do you feel? Like, how's the city? How are the people reacting?
uh, been pretty empty on the roads, which is nice for traffic, but
Mm.
don't really work anywhere. Stores are, as you'd expect. For some odd reason, people really like toilet paper.
Yep, that's how it is here too. I don't know why. That's the first thing that's been running out of the shelves. Like it blows my mind. Out of all the stuff, like people are worried about that. It's
Yeah,
crazy. Like share
yeah,
with other people. I wish that in times like this, this is a good learning experience. Like instead of just worrying about me, myself, and I, like also think about your fellow man or fellow human being. Like do you really need 3 or 4 packs of toilet paper? You know what I mean? Or I don't know if you saw the pictures or people stacked it in their carts. Like really,
yeah.
do you need that much? Like just blows my mind.
a lot of at this point, I think a lot of people are doing it just to troll other people.
Oh, speaking of that, I don't know if you saw the article, but there was this dude who hoarded a bunch of like toilet paper, hand sanitizers. He had like a whole room, like a storage, filled with it, and he tried to sell it on Amazon.
Yeah.
But luckily, they stopped him from doing that. Did you see that article?
No, I didn't, but I kind of
I'm like,
suspected.
oh my god, yeah, they wouldn't let him post because he was price gouging. But like that, like I can't believe people try to take advantage of other people during a times of crisis. You know, like
Yeah,
it just blows my mind, dude.
it happens. It happens all over.
But you're good. Like hopefully everything's good with your
Yeah,
work. Like, do they know? Like, are they taking care of you guys? Hopefully,
yeah,
can you
we're
work from home?
yep, yep.
Okay,
But
that's good.
yeah, I just moved into a new place, so like my
Nice.
setup's not quite there yet. So I've been going to work myself, but the good thing is, when everybody else works from home, no one's in the office, so
Mm,
we'll stay away from people.
that's good. I'm glad that and I work from home too, and I'm glad that we both are lucky enough to have that opportunity. Not a lot of people have that. Like they either get I don't know, like I don't want to say laid off, but yeah, some people are actually getting laid off from what's going on. So I'm glad that we can at least continue to work from home. Like that's a good thing.
Definitely.
And hopefully this will blow over soon. Like I feel like it's just gonna get worse, but I'm hoping that this Corona thing will end quickly. It's amazing how we were like a few months ago and where we're at now. Like our lives just completely changed. Sorry, I'm stuck on this Corona thing.
Yeah,
It's just blowing my mind, dude.
that's okay. But man, it's a real trip.
Mm,
There's in Seattle, we've actually closed restaurants
that's
uh,
good.
for sit down. Like all restaurants now have to can only take takeout orders or
Mm,
delivery or a drive through. Like they can
mm,
keep the drive through open or be open for takeout, but they can't sit people in. So
mm.
because all people congregating, which makes a lot of sense.
It does, yeah. It's just kind of weird. I went to Chipotle's to pick up food. Like we ordered it online, and like you go in the store and they have the seating like closed off, so there's like nobody sitting there. You can't even order in the store. Like you're just there to pick up. So you order online. You go
That's
there when your order's ready. You just pick it. I'm like it's just weird, man. Like it's a different world,
that is odd.
but anyways. But going back to video games, sorry, I got a little sidetracked with the
Yeah,
Corona thing. But
that's cool.
hopefully,
I mean, the thing is with the coronavirus going on, I heard that might be affecting. I mean, definitely it's affecting manufacturing, but
mm,
I'm thinking it might. I think I saw some reports about it possibly affecting the next generation release dates.
oh no,
How do you think? Like, because they were supposed to come out, at the, holiday this
mm-hmm,
season, but if no one's in the factories right now making them,
mm,
because like it takes months to try and from manufacturing to shipping and to get that stuff here. So they technically should be producing the units now, but if they're
mm,
not, I mean, do you think
wow,
next gen might not come until 2021? And you know, would you be okay with that?
dang man, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right. It takes, people working in a factory to make these units, the PlayStation and Microsoft units. But if nobody's going to the factory to work, then we're not going to have the consoles anytime soon. Man,
Yeah,
yeah, I really didn't think about this.
yeah. So
If it means the safety of the people working at these factories, and if it gets delayed, then yeah, of course it's going to be okay. Like it sucks, but like the safety of people, it's more important. I
agreed.
guess. I guess. But man, yeah, you put it into perspective for me. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So okay, that you, if you have a crystal ball
Hmm.
right in front of you right now,
Yeah.
what do you predict next gen will come?
Well, after what you just said, um, yeah, I don't know if they're gonna make it this year because I think the situation with the coronavirus is just gonna get worse and worse, and more and more people are not gonna be working. So I can definitely see it being pushed. I can see it now being pushed to next summer, probably.
Hmm.
Maybe that's a optimistic view. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe like they already started production on it. I don't know. Like that would be great. Like if they already started production and they already have the units ready to go. Like that would be sweet. But you're right. I don't think that they have that prepped yet. You know.
And what else?
What about you? When do you think it's gonna?
I think ideally the earliest I think we'll get it is probably in March of next year,
Mm,
next generation, mainly because the fiscal years, fiscal quarters usually end around March. So like, if they can get their product out before the end of that fiscal quarter the next year, their earnings will still report in 2020. So they could. I think I think they ideally will want to try and shoot for a March 2021 release,
hmm.
but who knows when, because that's what Nintendo did with the Switch, is released early March to fit within that fiscal year, so they don't show that they're hemorrhaging money.
That's a good point. Um, I remember something else. I saw a headline about the Final Fantasy VII remake. Like people who order the game and who are getting a physical copy, their copies might be delayed because of what's going on, like
I
through Amazon. So I think digitally, I think it's still coming out in April. But if you want a physical copy of it, I don't know if you're going to get one in April. You,
Yeah,
so this is really affecting everything.
yeah, yeah.
It's
That's
weird,
okay.
isn't it?
That's okay. I'm gonna wait until they all the episodes come out.
I had a feeling you were gonna say that because I know you don't like to like watch or play something and then like wait for the next thing. You'd rather wait until it's all out, all complete, and then either binge watch it or binge play it. Are you really gonna wait that long though? Because I think it's gonna be years until the whole Final
I,
Fantasy VII
I
game is. Can you
hope
do
it's
it?
I hope it's not a Half Life episode 3. I hope it's not a Half Life 2 episode 3 scenario.
That would
Or
suck, man. That would really suck. But
yeah,
I can't do that, man. Kudos to you if you can hold off and wait until the whole Final Fantasy VII remake is done.
yeah,
That I don't think I can do that. I might not have a choice though, unless I get a PS5 if it comes out anytime soon. So
yeah.
I actually don't have the choice. But if I did have my PS4, I would definitely get the part one of the
Hmm.
series. So I don't think I can wait, dude.
What do you think about backwards compatibility? Talking about
Mm.
remakes, because it's gonna be a cross-platform game. Like a lot of games right now are cross-platform, and next generation is promising more backwards compatibility than they have recent years.
I think that's really important. Especially now because we're really enjoying backwards compatibility with current gen, and there's a lot of people that have big like either PlayStation or Xbox libraries, so that could be another selling point, like which system can play more backward compatibility games. I really think that's another selling point, and right now I don't know which one is going to be better at that, but yeah, it could be a tipping point as well. I think very important.
Yeah, because like right now, Xbox is killing it with backwards compatibility because
Hmm.
almost backwards compatible. Like there are actually quite a there's unfortunately Xbox announced or Microsoft announced that what was it like a year ago that they had not a year ago, a little less than a year ago that the last grip of game backwards compatible games that they optimized, and I really hope they go back and make more 360 and Xbox Prime games, uh, backwards compatible because I really want to play SVC Chaos on an American system. That's like one of the only games I want to play.
What is that? A
Well,
fighting game?
yeah, it's SNK versus Capcom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it only came out for the in the United States. The only official version we got was an Xbox release.
Mm.
So and that just never got ported over. So I'm waiting for that to come out. Like I really want that to come out, or SNK Playmore to bite the bullet and pay the licensing fee to re-release that on PS4 or the Xbox One under the Aka Neo Geo title. So yeah, I don't think that's ever going to come. So.
Mm. I never played those kind of games before. I don't remember playing that fighting game.
It's
You said it was
it
out for the Neo Geo. Is that?
yeah, yeah. So it's a lot like King of Fighters. If you ever
Mm.
played any of the games, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a 2D fighting game, and just they're I don't know they're really just kind of fun, and they're just not I don't know they're not as like combo crazy as games are now, and just it's just a different fighting game, and just
Nice.
but
I'll have to check it out.
yeah, as far as backwards compatibility is concerned, just like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, with everything moving to digital, like I have a PS3 that has so many digital games on it, and I have so many PS1 and PS1 Classic and PS2 Classic games on my PS3 that I want to play on next gen hardware or whatnot. So I'm really hoping Sony kind of one either like makes some kind of compatible, you know, buyback program, or just try and or like have some like $50 app where it's like, hey, here's your here's the PS3 running on a PS5 type of thing, so I don't lose out on those games that I purchased, or simply re-release a compact PS3 with better innards to better surf the Sony PlayStation Store, and just still play any of my old PS3 downloaded games, PS2 downloaded games, or PS1 classic games on that. Like, that's what
Hmm.
I really want.
That makes me wonder, like, for backwards compatibility, how far do you think they should go back? Like, do you think they should go all the way back to the PS1 era? Like,
Well, I
or,
mean,
or what do you think would
they
be cool?
technically already do, and they already have like a really good PS1 emulation software, like built into like the PS3s and the PS Vitas, the PlayStation TVs. Like they have the infrastructure set up, so and they have the files because they have the digital games. They have a bunch of those games digitally available still. So it's just a matter of just them flipping a switch. Not
So it wouldn't be
really.
that hard then. I mean, not like that, but it wouldn't be that hard for them to do that to make the PS5 backwards compatibility compatible with PS1 games
Yeah,
all the way
PS1.
through PS1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah,
That
I
would be
mean
sweet, man.
PS3, I can probably see some issues with because it uses a Power PC. You know, it uses a different PC. Same thing with the PS2. In fact, like that Emotion engine, they're probably going to need like I don't know. I would think something to simulate that would be a lot easier than to actually, retrofit another one on CPU on it. But who knows? I mean, they have PS3, PS2 games running on the PS4 as well. So like, it'd be a similar tactic to that. But I mean, of course, there'd be work involved. But just oh man, I just want it so bad.
That would
I
be
just
awesome, man.
to have everything in a nice, neat little package like that. Yeah,
I
totally.
hope that they do that. That would be really cool.
Yeah,
So,
but the thing is, when you're on top of the horse, you don't need to cater to fans like that. Because when the PS3, what was it? When the PS3 was battling the 360, you know, that's when PlayStation they did crazy stuff to try and win customer loyalty, and it worked. Like the whole PlayStation Plus, uh, uh, subscription model, how they were giving away games.
hmm
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not certain how often you collect on that or the Xbox games with gold, but they've made it really hard now to try and find those games monthly. They're there, but you have to like they're no longer on like the front page of when you sign up that says, "Hey, your new free games are here." You have to go in like three menus deep.
I know. I noticed that. So I actually had to get Xbox Live, so my son can play Fortnite on the Xbox because you have to. I don't know if you knew it or not, but like for the Fortnite on the PS4, it's free. Like you didn't need the PlayStation Plus. But
Really?
but on the Xbox you need that. So I had to get it so he can play it. But I noticed that as well. It's a little tricky finding the
Oh,
free the free games on.
wait. Firstly, what burns my britches is on when I was trying to play Borderlands 3 with my friend doing split screen on the PS4. Both accounts, uh, both accounts need to have PlayStation Plus service to play online on a game. But the
Mm,
Xbox,
hmm
only one of you need to be signed into Xbox Live or have an
Really?
Xbox Gold account. And yeah, it is the most back assward thing uh, I can ever I can think of. It's like yeah. So what you're telling me is like so the PlayStation Plus is or PlayStation is doing right by the customer on one thing, but the Xbox is not. But on the other, in this particular situation, Xbox is doing right by the customer where the PlayStation is not. That's
hmm
funny.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting as well. Um, One thing we haven't talked about is the price that it's going to be. What do you estimate the the cost of each system is going to be when
Five
it
hundred
comes
dollars.
out for both of them?
$500. That's the price they're going to aim at. Yeah.
Do you think they're going to have a base model of whatever it is and then like a higher end or just like
No,
one system?
there's going to be $500. It's going to be $500. So.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want to say 400 to make it competitive, but with everything going on right now, um, yeah, I'm thinking 500.
I think that's a good I think that's a fair price because when the PS3 came out, wasn't it like $600? Like was
Yep,
it five? It was 600, wasn't it? And then they
yep,
eventually lowered it a little bit just because it was so pricey.
yeah. Because again, when you're on top, you don't feel the need to cater to your customers, and that's when you start losing. That's when you lose touch with your customer base, and that's when mistakes like that happen. So.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen again. I think you're right. I think it's probably going to be around 500. Or,
Really hope Sony's learned from their past, but I don't know. Lately, it seems that Sony might be getting a little high on their britches.
mm.
You know, uh, but Xbox, man, since you know, since the beginning of this current generation, they've been trying to play catch up, and they've been doing so much to buy goodwill that just they've done a lot, like with back mainly with backwards compatibility thing, and just Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, man, that guy he's a class act all
Hmm.
the way. He's always I like every announcement that he does is seems to be super earnest, and he really just seems to be just a guy that loves games. Like
Hmm.
Microsoft did the best thing they could by making Phil Spencer, head of Xbox.
For sure, man. He's pretty cool. So I was thinking of something. What is something that's not on current gen that you're hoping to see on the next generation? Whether it's something in game or, and we might have talked about this before, but what are your thoughts on that?
You, wait, you're saying is there a game I want on next gen or a feature or
Either or,
um,
whatever you want, man. Either a game or a feature that's not on current gen, but you're hoping to see it on the next gen.
light gun games?
I miss
Like
light gun games. I miss Duck Hunt, man. Like, yeah, they got to bring that back somehow.
yeah,
How would
yeah. Oh,
I was gonna say how can they do that? Like, if they were to bring something like this back, like,
um,
because
well,
I
they couldn't use light. They can't use light guns in the same way they did before because TVs are just too slow. TVs are just too slow because they need to process a digital signal. The closest thing you can come with is like a camera setup, like the PlayStation Eye or the Wii setup. But you're gonna have to have something a little bit more not sophisticated, but you're gonna have to have something that maps the border area of your monitor or like TV screen or whatever you're using, and then something to track it. That's yeah. So you're gonna have to have a multiple. It's not gonna be a cheap, maybe not a cheap setup, but like it. Yeah, it's gonna have to be like a couple piece setup. You're not just gonna have a light gun. You're gonna have a light gun plus sensors here and there. That's
mm.
the only way I can think of it.
Speaking of that, did they announce like the next gen camera for the systems, or did they just completely do away with that?
No, they haven't mentioned anything about it. I kind of secretly hope that PSVR, makes it to the next generation, simply just because I don't know. I think that's a nifty little thing, like VR for the masses. But kind of, I really kind of want to try Tetris Effect.
That would be fun, man. I've always wanted to try the PSVR, and it's cool because it came out and the price was not as expensive as other VR units, right?
Yep.
So that would be cool if they have like PSVR version 2 or for the next system, and they just keep going with that. Because VR, it's like it's slowly gaining popularity, isn't it? Like, I don't know. What are your
It,
thoughts?
I don't like gaining popularity. It's kind of just been stagnant, kind of.
Mm.
So just need something new to kind of interject. But a lot of cheap VR. Let me get that. Let me kind of backtrack a little bit.
Go
So
for it.
like VR hasn't really stagnated. It's that cheap VR is getting more popular.
That makes
Like
sense.
because like you have the stripped down Oculus. I think was it like the Oculus Index, or was that the other one?
Let me
I
check the index.
I mean, like cheap VR is starting to gain a little bit more ground.
Dang it, man! The Valve Index, it's set up for $1,000, dude. Like the setup.
Wow. Okay, so that's not cheap VR.
The PSVR is a lot cheaper.
Yeah, like orders of magnitude. Yes.
So yeah, I kind of hope they do the same thing. But yeah, bringing a gun back, a light gun, or however they would do that. That would be fun, man. I miss playing those kind of games. Time
Yeah,
Cop and remember Time Cop,
Time Crisis.
Time Crisis. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
for me it was Virtua Cop. I was a Sega Saturn kid,
isn't
so
Time Cop? Wasn't that the name of the Van Damme movie? Time Cop.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's what I was thinking about. But
Uh,
cool, man. Any, I guess, any final thoughts on next gen or something that we haven't touched on?
well, actually, let's go back to Dream Games. Like, what would you like to see on next gen?
Hmm. I don't know if I can top the light gun thing, but I want to see more, and I think you might agree with this. I want to see more local co-op. You know, I guess
Hmm.
especially with the Halo games, bring co-op couch back. You know, like
Yeah,
it's cool that I can play with other people online, but I also want to play with other people in the same room, and they
yeah.
should have enough power to do that. You know, like there shouldn't be any excuses. So hopefully they can bring that back. If they did it back on the 360, wasn't the
Back on
older
X.
Halos? Yeah, on the Xbox and the 360, they had
Yeah.
split
It
screen,
doesn't
right?
have to look pretty. It doesn't have to look pretty. It
Yeah,
just has to.
yeah. If they lower the graphics a little bit, I think it's possible. But I mean, the hardware is going to be so strong, like they shouldn't have an excuse. So that's what I want to see, more co-op couch gameplay.
Hmm.
Hopefully,
That's
we'll.
a good thing. Good thing to have.
I want the next gen to be able to bring down my hair. So it's
Um,
crazy. It's
I
crazy.
don't
I don't know if the next gen will do that. But anything else, man? Yeah, any.
know. That's fantastic.
Oh, or maybe they can get us toilet paper. You know, maybe if they have the next gens come with like a roll of toilet paper, that might be another selling point. If there's still a shortage by the time it comes out,
No, just a toilet paper dispenser's better, good enough. Like,
or a wash, or if it came with a wash, that would help too. Next gen wash. Just
uh,
you just gotta wash your butts. That's
yeah,
that's all you gotta do, man.
uh,
So we'll save the toilet paper. Anyways, I guess on that note, um, thank you for watching, you guys. We appreciate it. Thank you, David, for your time and for your thoughts and impressions on the next gen consoles. Any last words or final thoughts?
no, just I hope your channel does well, and everybody, ciao for now.
Thanks, you guys. Take care.